Is there anything more French than the Moulin Rouge? Every night, 1,700 people enjoy this quintessential French cabaret. They've been dancing the can-can here for 120 years.
The majority of the people are impressed. Yeah, it's still one of the more famous symbols of Paris.
For dancers like Axel, who are chosen to grace this stage, it's the realisation of a childhood dream, inspired in part by her grandmother.
Sometimes I can see some old people in the audience, and I'm always thinking about my grandmother, who was working all her life, and like her dream was to come in Moulin Rouge, because it was, like we speak about it, it was 50 years ago, it was really too much expensive for her.
Along the banks of the Seine, away from the bright lights and scanty costumes, the showgirl is increasingly worried about clothing designed to cover up the female form.
I'm against the burqa. Really, it's a jail for me. Yeah, exactly. I think it's a word. It's a jail.
Axel and her husband Aslan see their neighbourhood changing. They're uneasy about the distinctive Islamic dress they're seeing more and more. The way they see it, it's an affront to the French way of life.
You said to me that you felt sad. What is it that you think they miss out on?
If you're not happy with it, if you don't understand that you are in a country with a lot of freedom and liberty, if you're not happy with it, just go wherever you want in another country.
France is grappling with a large and growing Islamic community, now the biggest in Europe. 10% of the French population is Muslim, not just recent arrivals, but many who were born and raised as French citizens, most obviously the women who choose to cover up from head to toe. It's estimated just a couple of thousand French women wear the burqa. It's a very small number, but they've inspired a big national controversy. We've come to this public housing estate in Evry, half an hour south of the city, to meet Sarkozy Kadrouche and her family.
Donc, une femme musulmane doit plaire uniquement à son mari. Et on est très coquettes, les femmes musulmanes sont très très coquettes, elles prennent vraiment soin d'elles, mais elles ne se montrent pas à l'extérieur.
Soraya and husband Badris, who migrated from Algeria 15 years ago, consider themselves a modern French couple, raising a thoroughly French tribe of 5 children.
Moi, je ne l'ai pas obligé de se convertir à l'islam, comme je ne l'ai pas obligé de porter le voile. Ce n'est pas à moi de prendre la décision, c'est elle de prendre la décision. Si elle veut l'enlever, elle l'enlève. Si elle veut le garder, elle le garde. C'est elle qui prend la décision, ce n'est pas moi.
You close yourself off to the rest of society. Why do you do that?
C'est pas fermé de la société parce que j'ai un contact avec vous. Et les gens qui vont me parler dehors, j'aurai un contact avec eux. C'est vrai que je ne me fais pas accoster par les hommes dehors. Oui, c'est vrai que cette porte-là, je l'ai fermée.
Born in France and christened in a Catholic church, Christelle Angelique, Soraya endured sexual harassment as a child and teenager. She says she sought out a religion offering a stronger moral code, and was just 18 when, to her mother's distress, she converted to Islam and adopted a Muslim name.
Et j'aimais pas quand j'allais dans la rue et qu'il y avait des hommes qui essayaient de me parler. Donc, en fait, pour moi, la solution, c'était de mettre le voile intégral. C'est sûr
The
que...
solution was to wear the full veil over your face.
Tout en sachant que les femmes du prophète, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, étaient habillées comme ça. Allah il dit dans le Coran qu'on doit faire comme le prophète sallallahu alayhi wa sallam il a fait. Donc lui et ses femmes.
Much of that je ne sais quoi that makes the French so very well French is on display all over Paris, like right here, where women come every day to worship the gods of fashion. But does what we wear really define who we are? The government certainly thinks so. And so, from now on, to make sure that everyone is embracing the values of freedom, equality and fraternity, citizenship will come with a dress code.
Recent regional elections were a disaster for Sarkozy's party, losing serious ground to the far-right National Front. Legislating to ban the burqa might just win back some of those votes.
Wearing the burqa is
Wearing the
phenomenon?
burqa and the niqab is a genuine new phenomenon. And which
In
is
the parliamentary gardens, Sarkozy supporter Jacques Miard insists that the burqa is at odds with the French national identity. Banning it now has broad cross-party support.
When you hide your face to somebody, I am the victim. I am, because you refuse me to see who you are. And this is not acceptable.
You say that wearing the burqa or the niqab is an affront to the French values of equality, of secularity, of dignity. Is freedom not also a French value?
It is, but the freedom stops where the law says it. And if I decide myself that I'll go naked in the street, will you accept it? No. Even if I claim it is my individual liberty, my individual freedom. So I think this is absolutely a false argument, and individual liberty stop at collective will of willing to live together.
Soraya Kadrouche would like to meet the politicians who want to tell her what not to wear and lecture them about freedom.
Donc on n'a pas le choix. On n'a pas de choix. Vous avez un choix et moi j'ai pas de choix. C'est ça la vie. Vous avez le droit de vous habiller comme je veux, moi j'ai pas le droit. C'est ça la liberté? C'est ça la vie? Vous avez le droit d'être heureuse et moi je suis heureuse comme ça, j'ai pas le droit. C'est ça? C'est ça l'égalité? Donc vous êtes heureuse et moi je serai pas heureuse. Ça c'est l'égalité? Non.
But even at Soraya's local mosque in Evry, there is no absolute freedom. She isn't allowed to wear the face covering veil here. The rector, Khalid Maroon, doesn't approve of it.
No.
Merci. He tells me that the Islamic holy book, the Quran, makes it clear only that women should be discreet and cover their hair with a scarf, known as the hijab.
What do you think about the government's law to ban the scarf?
Moi, j'ai toujours été contre les lois. Plus vous faites une loi, plus vous aggravez les choses. Moi, je suis pour un homme de dialogue.
Is Islam under attack from the French government?
Non, l'islam aujourd'hui, il est devenu interlocuteur du gouvernement français. Nous vivons dans un État laïque. l'État ne doit pas favoriser une religion par rapport à l'autre.
In mosques across the country, tempers are rising over the proposed law. At Drancy, on the other side of Paris, worshippers are deeply divided because here the imam has very publicly sided with the government.
En France, imaginez l'islam, après le 11 septembre, il a eu une image très négative, une image de peur, une image de chaque musulman. Maintenant, il est obligé de justifier qu'il est innocent, qu'il n'a rien à voir avec Al-Qaïda, qu'il n'a rien à voir avec certains terrorismes. En plus, on rajoute un vestimentaire, une manière de s'habiller qu'on fait peur. C'est comme ça qu'on peut monter certains extrémismes politiques, certains qui ont un problème de racisme. C'est un phénomène pour protéger la femme.
The mosque and its spiritual leader have around-the-clock police protection. A group of worshippers are distributing a flyer calling for the sacking of the young Tunisian-born imam. Hassan Shalgoumi has been threatened with death, but says he won't be intimidated by those he calls extremists.
So how do you feel about the government's position on the burqa, that they want to ban the burqa?
Personnellement, je suis pour cette loi. Ça, c'est. Deuxième chose aussi, pour montrer une image positive de l'islam, une image vraiment qu'on peut comprendre, parce que le visage, c'est l'identité.
Bah, peu importe, 9 ans, c'est pour toi.
Soraya Kadrouche spends her Saturday mornings like any other French mother might, shopping.
J'aurais bien aimé qu'il y ait un petit pantalon avec.
She wants the world to know that while she may look different to mainstream Parisians, underneath her black cloak, she's just like everyone else. And now, after 2 days of being with us, she feels comfortable enough to reveal her eyes.
Before marriage, I have a French friend, and sometimes they talk to me, why you don't like you are French?
Do you feel that you're not French anymore?
No, I am French.
What does it mean to be French?
For me,
What does it mean
French
to be French?
identity, it's when I see the sport, you know, Olympic game, my heart with the French sportive, you know, I see my husband, what are you doing on the TV? And French people, yeah.
For Moulin Rouge showgirl Axel, the only reason to cover her head is for safety. The motorbike makes getting to work a lot easier.
En fait, il y a plein de petits champs, quoi, comme à Disney. Et là,
And this is what she loves about being French, that a woman can do and wear whatever she wants, or very little at all, and be admired and respected regardless.
in France, it's really an honor to be here. When I'm on stage, it's the best feelings. That's for what I've worked since I'm 8. It's really why I'm waking up every day. It's really what I love. It's giving so much energy.
The Muslim woman that I interviewed, she said in modern society, relationships are not respected.
It's their culture. In our culture, I mean, he's respecting me, I respect him. It's really the same with my husband as well. We are sharing everything. I'm never gonna cheat on him. You say like this, yeah? And I mean, it's not about religion or culture. It's just about respect.
الله أكبر
The Grand Mosque of Paris is a symbol of the long relationship between France and Islam. It was built by the government in 1926 as a gesture of thanks to the Muslims of the North African colonies who fought for France in World War I. After the Second World War, those people were invited here to help reconstruct the country. That wave of immigration helped deliver to France the biggest Muslim population in Europe.
Liberté, égalité, fraternité, ça ne doit pas bouger. Ce sont plus que des valeurs encore, ce sont des principes.
The faces at this citizenship ceremony tell the story of 21st century France.
L'égalité, c'est ce qui fait que, à l'atelier, au bureau, à l'usine, dans l'isoloir des élections, chacun a une valeur égale et compte autant que son voisin.
Mademoiselle Belada de Tunisie.
There are now 6 million Muslims in a population of 60 million. No burqas in this room, and that's not surprising, given how some Muslim women react at the mere mention of the Islamic veil. What do the niqab and the burqa represent to you?
A coffin, the ultimate oppression, inhumanity. For me, it's it's a last step. After that, there is the end.
Siham Habshi, a French-Algerian Muslim, is the director of a group with a confronting name, neither whores nor submissives. They meet every week in a hall in central Paris. They've heard their share of horror stories about Muslim women forced by men to wear the burqa.
Everyone talks about the choice to wear the burqa, but nobody wants to talk about the violence under the burqa and how you just are reduced to an animal sometimes. You don't have, you are treated as nothing. So who are those men, because it's men, that decide that Islam is a religion that oppresses women? I'm sorry, I'm not agree.
The Imam of Drancy believes the burqa represents fundamentalism. For him, the world would be a better place if every country was more like France and less like Afghanistan.
Ça, il faut comprendre aussi que la burqa, c'est un phénomène afghan. Et afghan, taliban, taliban, terrorisme. Deuxièmement, c'est un signe que cette femme, elle montre un islam on ne peut pas l'accepter ici.
This image of a Muslim couple from the Caucasus strikes a nerve with those in France who fear Islam. With explosives strapped to her body, the 17-year-old woman and a veiled female friend blew themselves up last month on the Moscow subway, killing 39 strangers. "15 years ago, Algerian terrorists bombed the Paris metro. The intelligence service here suggests that the strong links between Al-Qaeda and Algerian extremists represents an increasing danger to France. A burqa ban would apply on public transport and even on the streets, but legal advisors have warned that it may be unconstitutional in France and would be challenged in the European Union. Aren't you concerned that your proposed law will be rejected by the European Court of Justice?
No, absolutely not. In fact, we want the law to liberate those women because, in my view, they are, in a ghetto, and they cannot mix with those people. Or our aim is that those people become, maybe one day, citizens, if they want, of this country. So they have to adopt the values, but also the standards of living of our country.
In fact, Soraya Kadrouche is a French-born citizen. For her, French values are not incompatible with being a pious Islamic woman, just not as important. Missing the sun on her face and the wind in her hair is, she says, a small price to pay for a ticket to paradise.
In the paradise, I have very nice hair, very nice dress, very nice everything. I am the best woman, you know, and I want that. I am sure. And my life, it's for that. It's for eternity. I am sure.
Overwhelmingly, though, French women do their living in the here and now. They're among the crowds in the Louvre who crane for a view of the most beguiling female face of all time. And they draw inspiration from the stoic and powerful female figures of French history. Marianne and Joan of Arc, all of whom fought for freedom.